This section heading is called PHP Cookies. So once again, we're going to revisit this image that displays our current setup. Clients, when requesting a web page, will do so via an HTTP GET request with the web server. The server, when responding to that request, will send not only the web page, but also set a cookie on the client side that consists of the PHP session ID within it. So this cookie will remain on the client side so long as the browser stays open. The moment the client closes the browser, the cookie will cease to exist. So here's what we're going to do in this section. We're going to not only verify that session IDs are stored in cookies, but we're also going to see how we can enable or configure that cookie to persist for an extended period of time. So first, let's verify that we have a cookie. So we're going to go over to our browser, click the hamburger icon, Preferences, Privacy, Remove Individual Cookies. We've got a folder. Click on it. So here's our cookie. We can see the cookie name right there, as well as all the other information that pertains with it down here. So we've got the name, content, which is our PHP session ID, host, path, and then expires. So when we terminate the session is when we close the browser, and that will remove the cookie. So now we'll click close. We're going to go back to our custom homepage, and here's how we're going to spin this. So what we're going to do with the Eurobank portal here is we're going to make it more user-friendly by adding a Remember Me checkbox. So this checkbox can be used by users that authenticate through the form to have their information saved so that when they come back in at a later point, they wouldn't have to supply their username and password again. But here's the thing. So without drowning you guys with PHP code, we're not going to configure the whole process here. So we're going to add the checkbox, and we're going to add some PHP code on the server side that will enable the cookie to persist. However, we won't have that functionality of simply just connecting and automatically logging in. So we would need, additional PHP code. So to set this up, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to minimize, and I'm going to go back inside of Lab 6. So the reason for this is I want to open this with a different application. So we saw that when we open this with gedit, we got white space when we paste within the terminal. So I'm going to just open with Notepad, and now this will actually mitigate that or get rid of that white space. All right, so the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to add some HTML to our custom homepage. So basically we're adding the checkbox. So I'm going to copy this, minimize, I'll close this up, and I'm going to go over to our session. So we have an SSH session established, and I need to add this to index.php. Now this is going to be placed on line 44 within this file. So I'm going to scroll down to line 44. I'm going to go to the end of the TR tag, and I'm just going to paste. I'll get rid of this extra white space there. And now I'm just going to do a Control X, hit Y to save, hit Enter. We'll go back and we'll verify that we now see a Remember Me checkbox. So we're going to reload, and here we can see that checkbox. So now we're going to add the PHP code that will be used to verify whether or not this box is set or unset. So first we're going to go back to our notepad. I'm going to scroll down, and we're going to copy this code right here. So copy, minimize, go back in here, hit the up arrow key. This code is going to be placed inside of checklogin.php. So we're going to scroll down, and we're going to go to where we're storing the username as session data. So I'm going to place this right after here. So I'm going to paste. And let me remove that extra white space right there. Okay, so let me scroll up. Now a high level of what this code is doing. So let me go up a little bit more here. So after the user successfully authenticates within the HTML form, and we store their username as session data, what we're going to do is we're going to check whether or not that box, the checkbox, is set or unset. So you can see that's what we're doing right here. So equal equals 1. So if the box is checked, then what we're going to do is we're going to set a cookie for that user. Now, at a high level, basically all we need to know here is that, look, we're using this time function, so it's going to find out what the current time is, and then over here, it's going to adjust the date so that it's a month away, so 30 days. Okay, so now to verify that this actually works, we're going to do a Control X, hit Y to save, and hit Enter. We're going to log in, so let me minimize this, check the box, log in as Alice, login successful. We're going to go back to our Preferences tab, remove individual cookies, expand. Now we can see over here, session user, a new name of a new cookie. And if we scroll down, what you're going to find is that the cookie expires in 1 month.